Well, welcome everyone. It's great to have you guys here. I wish you were here in Charlottesville with us. My name is Everett Fortner. I am the Associate Vice President of Career and Professional Development at UVA. I wish we could also see you and see the energy that you're bringing to the room. So just to get you energized, would you please just in the chat, just put whether you're a parent or a student, just put one word, student or parent. So we'll know approximately how many we have of each. I guess we should have done a poll, but it'll be fun for you guys to just get going anyway. So we have so much to cover with you guys today, and wow, I guess it's all students. That is super helpful to know. All right, great. So we want to be helpful to you. So I have the leadership team from the Career Center, and I have 4 career peer educators that are going to speak to you as well. We're going to start with just a very quick video so you get a bit of an idea of what we do at the Career Center. Then we're going to amplify some of those things. Then we're going to let the career peer educators bring those to life. So let me share my screen and show a quick video.
So have you ever visited the Career Center before?
No, I don't have a resume yet, and getting a job is years away.
Gotcha.
Have you heard of a handshake before?
You mean just shaking someone's hand?
Not quite.
Have you ever met a career counselor?
No, I'm actually hoping to get more involved at UVA, and I don't even really know my major yet.
These are some of the myths that have kept students away from the Career Center, but we're here to show you that visiting the Career Center is a simple experience that will help you throughout your journey at UVA. We have a friendly staff and this guide to help you get started.
Hi, welcome to the Career Center. How can we help you?
Hi, I really don't know what I'm doing right now and want some ideas of how to get more involved at UVA.
Great, we have counselors here to help you with exactly that.
One of the main things to take advantage at the Career Center when you first come to 1515 is to check out our staff, focused on discovering who you really are and finding experiences and a major that fits your skills, interest, and personality. We have plenty of ways to help you figure out what direction you can take, like assessment tools, one-on-one counseling, and group programs and workshops.
So I'm a first year and I'm looking for a summer internship, but I'm not sure where to start.
Well, you came to the right place. We can definitely help you with that.
As a first year, it's difficult to figure out how to tackle internships and what I want to do in the future, but the Career Center was able to help me figure out different industries I might be interested in, get my resume ready, and start an application for an internship I'm really excited about.
It's never too early to come into the Career Center to start your search. Whether it's finding your major, finding on-grounds jobs or activities, creating a resume, or navigating Handshake, UVA's job and internship platform. Come in early and start your search, and the Career Center is here to help.
One of the most important things we do at the Career Center is connect students with employers and alumni to build meaningful relationships starting from your first year to well beyond your time at UVA.
The Career Center was able to help me prepare for my interview by doing a mock interview with me, making sure I was wearing the proper clothing, and giving me follow-up tips afterwards.
I discovered exactly what I wanted to do when I attended the Public Service and Government Trek organized by the Career Center. Through meeting with different employees at the State Department, I now have a goal that I'm determined to work towards.
When I was at UVA, I popped into the Career Center all the time, whether it was for a resume review, internship search, or just figuring out life. And now it's great that I get to come back to grounds as an alum and help students and guide them through the recruitment process as well.
So come visit.
All right, let's make sure I can stop the next video from playing.
अरे केतन भाई एक चैलेंज में दूंगा आपको फिर एक पूरा गेम तुम.
All right, great. All right, I hope that gives you a little feel for what the Career Center does, and that actually was one of our locations, so you can see us. And I'm going to call on my colleague Carrie Rudder to talk a little bit about that location and some of the things we do in exploration.
Hello, welcome to the University of Virginia, and congratulations on being accepted. I am Carrie Rudder, and I work in the Career Center and lead our exploration area. We work quite a bit out of 1515 University Avenue, which is what was featured in the video. And the video describes a lot of what you can expect to experience in that space, and with our wonderful career peer educators that you'll hear more from today. And you've gone through a lot to get to the University of Virginia, and when you get to this school, it's often helpful to get grounded by coming into our 1515 Career Center to kind of think about what you want your next steps to be. We refer to it as exploration. You may be coming in thinking you're headed towards one path. That may be the path that you stay on, but it's good to explore all sorts of options, and you may change your mind. And that's what we're here for. We have a lot of cutting edge resources, such as Design Your Life programs. We have career peer educators who will sit down with you and help you apply for internships. We can help you with your navigation of your major choice with assessments such as Pathway U. Everything that we do is very personalized, even at such a large university. Another thing that we do is we try and get you connected to university resources called career communities for very specific industry information. And you'll learn a little bit more about that in today's program. The biggest thing is welcome, congratulations. I hope UVA is the school that you choose. You can't go wrong, and I think you'll hear from our wonderful students just what a fabulous university this is, and you can expect a lot of personalized attention in navigating your future with us.
Awesome, thank you, Carrie. You'll hear more about what we do in exploration when the students are talking. Let's now go to Kim to talk about career communities and getting industry-specific advice for students.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Everett. So we have multiple career communities where once a student has gone through this exploration process that Carrie just talked about, or if they're just entering, having a pretty good idea of the career field they want to go into, let me read you a list of career communities: public service and government, education, counseling and youth development, creative arts, media and design, science and sustainability, business and technology, and healthcare. So we have a number of different communities, and let me just give you an example from public service and government. Let's say that a student came through the exploration experience and decided, gosh, I'm really interested in giving back, contributing to my country. I either want to do public service or I want to go into a government job. And so one of the first things that they might do would be to sign up for a newsletter, which would include both public service and government. They might sign up for multiple newsletters in multiple career communities, but this person is pretty focused, and so they're saying, maybe I'll go into a nonprofit, or maybe I'll go into government work, and I want to learn a little bit more about those. So a student may move forward with talking with an alum, a UVA alum, through our Virginia Alumni Mentoring Program and platform, where we connect current undergraduate students with alumni who are in the career field of interest, and these alumni have volunteered to be meant to serve as mentors for these students. And so this student goes and talks with this alumni either through the phone or through a Zoom meeting like this. And let's say that they say, well, that was interesting. Let me learn a little bit more about government. And so in October, we had a government careers conference that the student learned about through the newsletter. And so they go to the government careers conference and realize, oh, that's really it. That's what I'm excited about. And so they learn a little bit about the unique application process for federal internships, and then use our public service and government drop-in hours to talk with a public service and government specialist career counselor about the process and how to write a federal resume and how that's different from other resumes. So they write a cover letter, do a wonderful job in their internship, and then even when they come back, they might join in a networking workshop with public service and government to keep those connections fresh and keep connected with that particular area. So that's just one example of how you can really get connected with alumni and employers through the public service and government career community. But as I mentioned earlier, there's lots of different career communities to meet the various interests of UVA students.
Awesome, Kim, thank you. Sorry, a little slow on the uptick there. All right, let's move on to David. How do we help students build skills and experiences?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And also just a big welcome to everybody. Thank you again for letting us talk to you today, and congratulations on your acceptance. Yeah, to build on what Carrie and Kim were talking about, we're very dedicated to this mission of creating an environment where students can learn skills and gain experience. We refer to this often as a term called skills-based exploration. This is your way, if you kind of imagine a child's sandbox where students can play and explore, and they can learn about the things they like to play with in the sand, and they can really kind of experiment. That's what we're creating here, you know, in our collaboration with our career communities and with our exploration environment, is to create an environment where you can explore. The programs we design support this self-discovery, where you can determine what you like and you don't like. So we know many of you are coming to UVA with this desire of here's what you might want to do. Well, through this experiential learning, you can discover more about these types of opportunities. So some examples of the things that we're doing are what we call these 1 week intensive industry academies. So you imagine where you get to go to a place like DC for a week, and we will teach you everything you need to know about business and healthcare through what we call cases. These are hands-on projects that you're working on alongside alumni and live companies. So at the end of that week, you'll be able to really kind of determine what you really enjoy and don't enjoy. When we look at skill development, you know, we partner with organizations that will teach you certain skills that you'll need for future jobs and internships. But you do that in a project-based way, you know. So we partner with an organization called Ratify, where you will, you know, through an asynchronous environment, train on different types of technologies and skills, and then through a synchronous environment, be teamed up with other students where you'll get to work on projects to experiment. We also use tools like Coursera, which are online platforms where you can move at your own pace. You can go through these tools, train on different types of areas you're interested in, and then what we'll do is then coordinate some project-based learning where you'll work together with other students and company partners on projects to, again, just play around and really learn about what you like and you don't like. And then taking all of this after you've gone through that skill growth, it's the next stage of really kind of gaining experience. And this is where we'll help you with internships. We administer an internship program here at UVA that places hundreds of students in local internships throughout the semester, and we call it the Internship Placement Program. But beyond that, we also partner with local environmental organizations, government organizations to place you in internships where you can get experience. And then another area example where we get this experience is all called industry treks. We'll work very closely with the career communities to take you to New York, take you to different places where you can experience a day in the life of what companies are doing. So after all of this, hopefully you get a better picture of what you like and you don't like, and then you can apply that to your career and internship search. So we're here to help out. So thank you, guys.
All right, David. Now I'm going to call an audible here. Sam, if you're about ready, since you did an internship placement program, Sam, why don't you introduce yourself and just share a little bit about IPP and the Business Academy and this whole idea of getting experience.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate your time. So I'm Sam Stapleton. I'm a transfer student and rising fourth year in the College of Arts and Sciences. So I was fortunate enough to be selected to go to IPP Dublin, and IPP is the internship placement program. So essentially, UVA Career Center has an expansive network abroad. The two locations that they have are in Dublin and in Prague. They have lots of other programs, but those are the two that I was most interested in. And so essentially what they did was they matched my interest with an internship that would be a good fit for me. So I ended up at a nonprofit called Job Care, which is very similar to what I do at the Career Center, which was helping people with resumes, cover letters, kind of helping them get them back on their feet after suffering from chronic unemployment. And it was great because I got to hang out right in the heart of Dublin, be immersed in another culture while picking up new skills. And yeah, it was a fantastic experience. I got to hang out with some really amazing people through UVA. We all lived together and, got to share all these great stories about what we were learning and what we were doing. And so actually out of that experience, I realized I had a real interest in business. From, kind of talking with my employer while I was in Dublin and kind of figuring out what is it within business I want to do, but I was still kind of unsure. So when I came back to UVA after my time abroad, I actually enrolled in the DC Business Academy, which is a 5-day kind of workshop essentially, where you go and see companies like Accenture, MasterCard, ClearSight, Esri, all these really great big companies that UVA has put a lot of work to make sure we have good connections with. And so each day is centered on a different skill, right? So one day you would be learning stuff about finance, the next you'd be doing accounting, strategy, marketing, and then project management. And to David's point earlier, with each day you have a case study at the end, so you get to apply what you're learning throughout the day and then work cohesively as a team and apply those skills. And so I took a particular leaning towards strategy, and because of my experience at the DC Business Academy and kind of leaning on UVA's network, I was able to land another internship with strategy for this summer, which I'm super excited about. So yeah, wow. Thank you, UVA.
Awesome, Sam. Thank you. Genesis, we're going to turn to you. You were with a different career community. So explain how the career communities work. And you're on mute. There you go.
Yes, hi. My name is Genesis. I am also a rising fourth year in the School of Architecture, and I work as a CPE for the Creative Arts, Media, and Design community. And at the beginning of this webinar, Carrie was talking about the exploration process is the start, and I think that is the pinnacle of my story, in that I came to UVA and I was like, I am going to be an architect. That's the thing. That's my dream. That's my goal. And over the last 3 years, I've realized that I think I don't want to practice architecture. That means something different to everyone. And a lot of the resources that have been talked about have helped me start to carve a path that is my own inside of my architecture major. And some of the ways that I've engaged have been through the Ratify program that David was talking about. I did the data science track because I'm interested in how big data can inform how we visualize information, and architecture is teaching me how to draw. And I thought that would be a great workplace skill to say, hey, I have a background in drawing, but I know how to code or how to search for information to help me make those drawings. So going through that 4-week process, I can't say that I'm now a computer scientist. I don't think that anyone can be in 4 weeks, but it taught me so much about the vocab of the industry and what kinds of job functions I might be working with as a designer in a data science company or field, a job. So that was a great place to start the last year and a half of exploration in data science things too. I've engaged with the business community by going to info sessions and doing the marketing and advertising trek to Richmond, and all kinds of other things that have stemmed from that first experience in the Ratified program. And I have to say, as a creative student, not going down a one-track path to architecture, I identify with a lot of students that are curious in a lot of things and have a lot of interests and like to explore. I think that word is a great word to describe my story. So thank you.
Great, Genesis. That's awesome. Thank you. Kaylee also can talk to us a little bit about exploring and one of the tools that we use called Pathway U. So Kaylee, I turn it to you.
Hi, thanks, Everett. So my name is Kaylee. I'm a current fourth-year rising adult, and I work in the education, counseling, and youth development community within the Career Center. But I've worked for the Career Center for 3 years now, so I've had my fair share of exploration as a student as well. And further on Genesis's point, I'd just like to say that you don't have to have everything figured out when you come to UVA. I came in and I didn't even know what a major was. And, within a year of participating in different Career Center programs, I had found something that I really loved. And even throughout your undergrad experience, you will continue to, change interests and question what you want to do. I also kind of the opposite of what Genesis found out. I have found out that I am a creative and that I kind of want to be more involved in design in my future career, when initially I came in and I thought I was going to do environmental science or, something that was more STEM related. So what's really great about the exploration community at the Career Center is that you can kind of try out all these different interests and we help you figure out what you want to do. So for a little bit of a story and background, my first couple months that I was at UVA, I attended a career exploration workshop where you go in and it's kind of like a 4-week session. We don't offer them anymore, but we offer similar workshops and programs. But I went in and they gave me a major match test, and I took a strong interest inventory and Myers-Briggs and all these different ways that you can figure out your different skill sets and how they best match to different majors and career paths at UVA. And from that, I was able to figure out that I really like helping people. And so I decided to go into more community service and nonprofit oriented careers. And that's kind of what I found myself exploring throughout my time at UVA. And so, the Career Center offers a lot of different opportunities for you to engage and figure out what skills best fit you, I guess, and will best fit your future career. And one of the main places that you can go to and kind of figure all this out is 1515, which was featured in the video that was shown in the beginning of this presentation. And 1515 is this student space that is very central to UVA grounds, central campus. And essentially, it's a really comfortable space where, there's a study area on the first floor, and then on the second floor, you have a Career Center satellite location. And oftentimes, students can just drop in. We have snacks. We have a ton of counselors and career peer educators, like some of us that are on this video, who are there to help you. And if you take a COLA, which is a 1-credit seminar during your first year, you will most likely come in with your class and we'll do a presentation and workshop with you. And from there, you get to see how the Career Center, functions and how you can find different opportunities that best fit your needs. So, just it's kind of come full circle for my first 2 months that I came here and I attended a career exploration workshop. And I was so inspired by what I learned there that I applied to be a career peer educator to help other students. And so if you find yourself following a similar path when you come here, I think that everything will work out for you. So, just to emphasize that you don't have to have it all figured out, and it's okay to change your mind no matter where you go. So
awesome. Haven't heard that term rising adult. I like that. I think of myself as a rising adult. That's awesome. Okay. The Career Center also helps with pre-health and law advising. So let me play a quick video on pre-health advising, and then Kim and Brittany will tell us a little bit more about that. So I'm going to share my screen again.
Hello everyone, I'm Keonna Gravely, and I'm a third-year pre-health advising peer. We are so excited to have you with us at the University of Virginia. Our mission is to keep you on a successful track to your ultimate pre-health career goal. Pre-health does not just mean pre-med. Pre-health includes medicine, optometry, pharmacy, physical therapy, and the list goes on. Additional healthcare opportunities include healthcare administration, epidemiology, global public health, and even biostatistics. We just want you all to know that pre-health includes all clinical careers.
Hi, my name is Abigail Hoang, and I'm a fourth-year student majoring in biology and minoring in Asian Pacific American Studies. After participating in a summer health program, shadowing optometrists, and researching more about the career, I decided that optometry was the best fit for me. I plan on working as an optometric technician after I graduate before I apply to optometry school.
Ciao, I'm Camila Cifuentes. I'm currently a third year Women and Gender Studies major on the pre-PA track. I'm specifically interested in women's health, and I'm currently studying abroad in Siena, Italy. After graduating, I plan on taking one gap year, continuing my traveling, and continue being an EMT and a clinical technician. I look forward to working with you all. Bye!
Successful applicants to pre-health programs follow a wide variety of paths to success. For example, some major in hard sciences like biology or chemistry, while others choose non-science majors such as anthropology, sociology, and history. Some will choose to apply right after their third year of undergrad to start their programs after graduating, but the majority of students will take one or more bridge years to gain valuable experience or pursue once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Bridge year opportunities can include studying abroad, Peace Corps, EMTing, or scribing, but that is definitely not a comprehensive list.
Hey everyone, I'm Joly. I'm a fourth-year global public health major and anthropology minor. I was once pre-dental, but I've since decided to pursue medicine. I'm passionate about the intersection of public health and clinical medicine after participating in research the past 2 summers. I plan on taking one bridge year, and during that bridge year I hope to either scribe or work for an organization committed to improving public health in underserved communities.
Hey everyone, my name is Shiv Sharma, and I am a fourth-year biology major and astronomy minor. I originally went to Virginia Tech my freshman year of college, but in my second year I transferred to UVA, where I've been here ever since. I've always been pretty unsure of what health field I wanted to go into, but after extensive shadowing, volunteering, and summer experiences, I ultimately decided on medicine. Now I plan on taking 2 bridge years after I graduate, where I'm going to scribe and work as a medical assistant before I eventually go to medical school.
Pre-health advisors and pre-health advising peers are here to help you throughout your pre-health journey at the University of Virginia. We hope to see you at drop-in hours at Clemens Library, or you can schedule an appointment with us at Bryant Hall via handshake.
We have a newsletter called the Pre-Health Pulse, which you can sign up for by changing your career interests on Handshake to Pre-Health. Any additional questions, you can find us online at career.virginia.edu/prehealth.
Okay, I understand that video was pretty rough in terms of sound, so I hope you were able to hear it. You can find it on YouTube. But let's have Kim tell you a little bit about some of the things we do in our pre-health advising.
Sure, thank you, Everett. And those of you who are thinking about health professions in your future, there is usually a large portion of the first-year class who is thinking about it, and we love getting to know those students from right away, nowadays in the lawn, or off the lawn, so to speak, through orientation and throughout the 4 years at UVA. We start, our philosophy includes exploration, preparation, and application. So we help students explore, is healthcare the right career, and then what career within healthcare. We help students prepare in thinking about course registration, mapping out a 4-year plan of prerequisite courses, and also getting clinical experience. And then we actually help with the application. We do a candidacy review. Prior to the student's application, we determine is now the right time for you to apply, and what are some other ways that you can increase your candidacy and strengthen your candidacy. I also teach a 1-credit class that I think Brittany's going to mention in a few minutes that is credit bearing and will help students explore this as an option. So shall we go right to Brittany? All right. Welcome, Brittany.
Hi guys, I'm Brittany. I'm a fourth year at UVA right now. I'm majoring in public health and also minoring in Spanish. First of all, congrats. UVA is a great school, so you guys should be super excited. And as Kim mentioned, we have so many resources through the Career Center with pre-health advising and also a lot of other resources that you'll find on grounds. So just a little bit about myself. So I always kind of knew I wanted to be pre-med in the pre-health realm. And so coming into UVA, in high school, I was CEO of piling everything on my plate and trying to do as much as I could, getting involved with everything, as I'm sure you guys all kind of have experienced trying to come to UVA. And at UVA, you might find that that might not be feasible. There are so many organizations you'll see at the activities fair. There's hundreds, and it might get overwhelming. And so a bit of advice I have is, try to explore and find a couple that, you're passionate about and try to find some leadership through those and getting to really have meaningful experiences. Because that's a big part of medical school or pre-health, other careers. That's a very important part to have volunteer and community service. So you might find that resources come from other students at TA office hours. You might find that going to those office hours and getting more individualized help with other students can be really helpful. A lot of the classes at UVA for science specifically are very large, and you might find that it's hard to get that one-on-one time with your professor. But by going to the teaching assistant hours, you can find other students who are willing to collaborate, who are also very driven, and can provide a really nice support system. And then the second resource that I would advise you all to use is with the Career Center, of course. I am a pre-health advising peer, and so there's a couple of us who do this, and we have drop-in hours at Clemens Library, as you saw in the video. And I believe that when I came to UVA, I felt like I really wish I had like a big sister or an older upperclassman student who could tell me, what classes to take, when to take these classes. And I felt like I was at a disadvantage because I didn't have these resources. But, if you feel like you have this deficiency in your resources available, a pre-health advising peers, we can help you with that. And you don't have to go through that alone. We can tell you when to take certain classes or at least give you some advice to guide you through that. We can help you with share our experiences as well with different professors and such like that. So another resource, as Kim mentioned, is the ELA course, Health Professionals. It's really awesome because you can explore different careers. If you're not sure if you want to be a doctor, maybe you want to be a dentist, or go pre-PA. The class is really awesome because you can map out your 4 years. You can even listen to guest speakers come in. We had a PA, her name was Kelsey Parente. She was really awesome, and listening to them talk about how they love their jobs can be really motivating. And you also meet other students in the class who are similarly driven as well. And so, yeah, the great thing about UVA pre-health is that there are so many paths you can take. There's not one strict schedule of taking biochemistry, then Gen Chem and Orgo. You can take classes in a different order with different professors. And these are big decisions that you have to make, but you don't have to do them alone. You can reach out to professors, teaching assistants, students, pre-health advising peers like myself, and other advisors like Kim. And also, we're here to help you with those classes, so you don't have to make those decisions alone.
Wow, Brittany, thank you. Lots of resources for pre-health, and there's lots of questions coming up on the Q&A about that. So you guys start pouring in your questions. I'm just going to summarize real quickly. We focus on 3 things. I think, I hope you heard. We focus on helping you explore, figure out what major, figure out what careers you want to pursue. We help make connections to alumni. We create ways for you to connect with other students who have the same interests that you do. And then we help you build the skills and gain the experience that you're going to need to land that job. We got lots of resources. You do have to seek them out, but we'll be there for you. We're in 1515, and we're in the football stadium, believe it or not. That's at our other office, and we have a third one in Newcomb. So we try to be wherever you can run into us. We're going to answer as many questions as we can. So you guys put your questions in the Q&A now, not the chat. I'm going to answer the one that was in the chat. I'm going to ask that one of Kim. I'm going to direct the questions if you guys don't mind. So Kim, quickly, as freshmen receive their deans and counselors, will we be matched with a pre-health advisor, or is that something we have to seek ourselves? And as an incoming freshman, is there any way to get some sort of pre-health counseling in the summer?
So yes, I have put in the chat the pre-health advising website for prospective students. And this is right now something that you would all work on your own. You're not assigned a pre-health advisor because we really at UVA want you to start exploring and not just only prescribe to one particular career. However, you certainly benefit from starting your exploration, preparation, and preparing for your application for health professions programs as early as possible. So start with the website that is for prospective students. We are going to send out information depending on how orientation and course registration happens this summer. We're going to send out some information with that on how to be in touch with a pre-health advisor. And also in the fall, I highly recommend you get in touch with a pre-health advisor. The way to schedule that would be to go on to Handshake and schedule. And just by the way, pre-health does include pre-vet.
Great. David, I'm going to throw two questions at you. Is IPP during the summer or during the academic year? Does it contribute to graduation requirements?
All right, wonderful. Great question. So IPP internships take place during the academic year or the summer. So you can take the internship during any of the semesters, and the corresponding courses, though, are during the fall and spring semester. So the actual coursework is not during the summer, but it's during the semester, and the credits do go towards graduation.
So are all these opportunities application-based? Do students get an equal opportunity to explore what they like, or is it only through internships or programs?
They are application based, and there is equal opportunity for all students on all those. So we make sure that we make sure that all students across grounds are aware of them. All students.
You still there? We lost you?
We lost you for, yes, yeah. I don't know how much you heard.
I think you got most of it.
Okay.
Okay, so Brittany, could you answer this one? How is the experience advising the pre-dental track?
Yeah, so we have pre-health advising because we have a lot of students who are pre-med, but we also want to encompass, other tracks, dental, vet, as Kim said, physician's assistant. And so the requirements for dental are very similar to medicine. I take a lot of prerequisite classes with them, and the advising is, just as sufficient, just as great. You will get a lot of, personalized advising. We have students who are pre-dent, and they can help you plan out, your 4 years or 5 years of courses and when you want to take them, still give you that same advice of, what class to take, when to take it. So although med might seem more popular, there's definitely many, many resources for pre-dental students. And there's also societies like the Pre-Dental Student Association as well, and you can connect with other pre-dental students as well through that.
Great, thank you. Kim, can you talk about pre-law a bit, especially as an engineering major interested in law?
Yes, as an engineering major interested in law, you're going to have some law schools that are very excited about you. There's not specific classes that you're required to take as you prepare for a future in law school. What law schools want to see is that you have logic and reasoning skills, and that you have a strong GPA and a strong LSAT exam. So we talk with students about how you can increase your logic and reason skills and other skills relevant to the law profession, like writing, research, and communication, oral communication skills. And so we talk with students about how to prepare academically, that's just getting strong academics, and how to prepare in developing these skills along the way during your 4 years and getting experiences that will matter to those particular schools. And then when you actually apply to law school, we're there for personal statement reviews. We talk about, we do mock interviews for law school, and we really kind of talk with you about your candidacy and your preparation for your application.
Awesome. This is a great question for Genesis. Are there any requirements to fulfill before applying to be a career peer educator?
Great question. Not at all. I landed on this job by chance. I was attending an art history panelist virtual chat. I can't even remember, but that was where I met Kate Melton, who is the CAMD leader of our creative group, and she said, "Come to my office hours and let's talk and get to know each other." And that was when she told me about this job, and it worked out perfect for my story. And that the type of person I am is to constantly try new things and learn about new things. And the fact that I'm doing all that for myself and I get to do that for others at the same time is a great part of the job. But because of the nature of the job, you don't have to have like any kind of requirements or previous special like background knowledge or anything. I think the most important thing about our job and our program as students is to share our perspective and our shared experience as peers. We always say that what we know and what we learn and see by doing school is something that the counselors can't always see. So we work together to provide more relevant content and services and events for students. So no, you don't.
And you guys are amazing. Thanks, Genesis. Kaylee, do most students know what career they have by the end of the fourth year? Can the Career Center link students with internships and other job opportunities?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say that myself, like I graduate in a couple weeks, and I have full confidence in saying I don't know what I want to do still. And that's totally okay, because, what's really important and what matters is that I had a journey here at UVA where I got to develop like the necessary skills that will equip me for whatever I end up doing. And, working at the Career Center and having all the free resources that the Career Center provides on Handshake and other platforms have really helped me figure out that, even though I'm not sure what I want to do, it's going to be okay. And you can still access Career Center resources 6 months after you graduate. And that's really helpful because a lot of students, especially right now, are still in the job hunt. And so it's really critical that we still have that support system even after we move on. And can you repeat the second part of the question again?
No, I think you got it. There's an internship part to it, but I think we're going to answer that with a different question. You answered the one part that I wanted. Great. Sam, what should people do that are coming in undecided?
Ooh, so that was me, and I think a lot of other folks as well. My biggest tip would be to try to do like informational interviews. So whether if you're undecided in terms of like what your major wants to be, I found it super helpful to go and talk to different departments, see like what their class courses are like, kind of like what workloads you can expect, different opportunities within different departments. And then I would highly recommend going to 1515 or any of other spaces and going and talking with a career counselor so you can try to take some of our inventory tests that we have, like the strong, so it basically figures out like what are your strengths, what is your general personality type like, and what would best suit you. And I think the most important thing is to just keep an open mind because there's so much out there, and the Career Center will do everything they possibly can to support you in finding what's good for you. And yeah, just have fun with it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. There's a lot of people in your position, and you'll definitely figure it out.
All right, thanks, Sam. Great. Kim, 2 questions on pre-health. There's several on here. How busy are the pre-health advisors? How many are there? Can pre-health student advisors help students figure out the best time to study abroad? Yeah, let's go with those 2.
All right, so there are 3 professional pre-health advisors and 6 pre-health advising peers. And all of them can help a student figure out when is the best time to study abroad. I also noticed a question about, did you have to apply with pre-health when you came in? No, you can decide at any point during your time at UVA or even after UVA that you want to go to a health professions program and still get advising from our team. We are absolutely busy, and we are still able to see any student who wants to see us.
Keep going. Do some of the courses for pre-med requirements overlap with the college curriculum?
Yes, they absolutely do overlap, and we encourage students to both take prerequisites and explore other areas that they'd be interested in, because students major in everything from biology to engineering to studio art and music. We have a really great track record for people who major in music and apply to med school. There aren't that many of them, but they tend to do well, just as an example.
Okay, David, can incoming students access Handshake? And if I'm a first year in pre-com, would I go through the Career Center or the Commerce School?
Okay, to the first question, as soon as their profiles are uploaded to SIS, which is the Student Information System, from SIS into Handshake, they can start viewing opportunities. That usually happens mid-summer, where they can start to go in and look for opportunities, just before we're starting to gear up for the semester. In terms of the second question, should they use Commerce or this?
Right, as an incoming first year that is pre-com, should they use us or Commerce Career Services?
Yeah, they'll use our office, for their services, for anything that for their exploration, for their learning. And then when they become a comm student in their third year, then they can start to use Commerce Career Services, as well as also continuing to use our team through the UVA Career Center to support their services.
Okay. Carrie, can the Career Center help students get involved with research?
Yes, and I wanted to follow up to what David was saying about pre-commerce. The exploration area also helps support students in their applications to different schools, such as the Baton School or to Commerce or to specialized majors in the college. So that's another thing that we can support. There is an office on grounds. The Center for Public Citizen Scholar, I think, is the name. There's also an undergraduate, it's called USOAR, USOAR, the Undergraduate Student Research Network. If you are looking for research positions at the university, that is the first office that you should probably go to, where they will have listings. You also might want to check Handshake, and again, as David mentioned, at summer orientation about midsummer, you will get access to Handshake. We will help you with your materials to apply for research-based positions, meaning you're going to be transitioning from high school to college resume and materials, and we want to help put those, your background, package that in the best way possible so that professors would be interested in having you join them for research opportunities. If you're not finding what you want at the university, we will coach you on how to approach departments and offices to further explore research opportunities.
Awesome. Genesis, are there any other specific organizations or clubs which you think would also help us learn about careers and opportunities in health, or perhaps prepare us for those careers?
Did you say in health? Or
well, I think this is broader in careers or health. So Brittany may chime in as well for the health side.
Sure. She was starting to mention how there's a ton of student orgs that you can learn about at the activities fair that happens in the beginning of fall. I was also a first year that signed up for like 20, and then I got a ton of emails and I was like, oh my God, there's so much. But I think in time you start to learn more about your interests and the organizations and their project that inspire you most. And I know a lot about the ones that are specific to the UVA arts, like creative side. But there is a list of all of the student orgs. I think it's called the CIO sorting hat that we keep and maintain, so you could browse through that to look and see, oh, I want one where that you have to apply or not apply or like whatever. There's ways to search for organizations that are specific to your interests, and they go as niche as there's a group of students that like to read Shakespeare on the lawn. So if you're a drama major and you want to read Shakespeare and you have that community, there are all kinds of ways to engage with your major and outside of your major and all of your interests.
Awesome. Brittany, do you want to add?
Yeah, I was just going to speak on the pre-health part, but there's certainly organizations and clubs that will be tailored towards pre-health. So we have global medical training, there's global dental brigades. With Madison House, I saw there was a question about the UVA health system. There's a program that works with volunteering at the hospital. But also I would encourage you to try looking at other organizations, that might not be so directly related to pre-health. Even though I am following the pre-health curriculum, I found that many of the organizations I'm involved in are really meaningful for different ways. And it's kind of an opportunity for me to explore other things on grounds, meet other people outside of the pre-health realm. So for example, I decided not to major in biology. I actually decided to major in public health, which I'm super passionate about now. And thanks to the Career Center, I actually met with Kim, and she was the one that introduced me to that. So that was great. And so I'm involved in Project Peanut Butter, which is a global malnutrition combating service organization. I decided to minor in Spanish. So there's different Spanish groups that can speak just kind of leisurely outside of class every week. My grandfather had Parkinson's, so there's a great organization called Pancakes for Parkinson's. And so there's so many organizations that can be tailored to you personally if you don't feel like you just want to do pre-health. But those are certainly available for pre-health and non-pre-health.
Wow. I'm tired listening to you, Brittany. Wow. Not of listening to you, but I'm tired because you do so much. Kim, are there any pre-law advisors on grounds, and do you help with the LSAT, and do you help with gap years for law students?
Yes to all of the above. We have multiple pre-law advisors, and we also have all of our career counselors in lots of different fields talk with pre-law students about opportunities, about internships and ways to gain experience, whether it be through consulting, you want to go and work in a corporate organization and then go to law school, or if it's in politics or public service, we have students who get experience in that and then eventually apply to law school. We don't provide content for LSAT preparation, but you'll see on our website, if you go to the pre-law section of our Career Center website, that there are all kinds of programs and organizations who do offer that support, some at no charge and some at plenty charge. But we help facilitate the timing of how somebody's going to prepare for the LSAT and when's the right time to apply and how do they get experience prior to that.
Awesome. Okay, Kaylee, this is a tough one. How do students decide what classes to take their first semester at UVA?
That is a really tough one. And I'm afraid there's no right answer, but and I think especially now this summer, it'll pose an extra challenge to you all. But, I decided with my first semester, because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, that I was going to do as much exploration as possible. And so I took classes that filled my gen ed requirements, but differed all the way from microecon to environmental science to a class called Smellscapes, where we learned about the importance of smell and how that affects learning and just different things. And so I really suggest that you just take this time to just dabble, if that's the right word, in a lot of different courses and see what best fits your interests, because that's the only way you're going to figure out if you're really fit, or not if you're fit, but if that's something you want to pursue. So that's what I would suggest. And I would, use Lose List, LOUS, which is like an online platform that lists all of the classes that will be offered at UVA in the fall. Spend a lot of time researching that, and then, going on the different Facebook groups for your class, and just asking a bunch of people, and also requesting to be a part of Facebook groups for older upperclassmen, so you can ask them as well, and just tap into those networks as much as you can. That's the best advice that I can give right now. I'm not sure if anyone else has anything to offer there, but and then you also will have a period during your first month here where you can transfer and switch into other classes. And so once you get here, if you find that you don't like something, or if you just want someone else's opinion, ask as many people as you can, and you have time to switch. So that's my advice for that one.
Great answer. Kim, how closely connected is the UVA health system with undergraduate studies? Are there opportunities to volunteer or do research at the hospital?
Absolutely, there are opportunities for both. We work with the organization Brittany mentioned earlier called Madison House, and most of our, I think all of the clinical volunteer opportunities in Charlottesville go through Madison House for undergraduates. And we also have a program called Observe, where students will shadow a physician or other healthcare clinician. Observe is on hold right now during the COVID experience, but we expect to pick it up when it is safe to do so. I'll just add one more thing about classes is that the majority of pre-health students or students who are thinking about going into a health profession in the future will take either chemistry or biology with lab in their first semester. Not necessarily both, but that should be a conversation with your advisor during orientation and course registration.
Wow, you're going to open a can of worms, I bet there, Kim. Sam, how does UVA help us build our resume before graduation?
I think there's all sorts of different ways you can do it. I have found I'm a little biased as a career peer educator. I found the Career Center programs to be super helpful. But there's all sorts of stuff you can do on grounds. There's this thing called Hack-Seville, which is like a student-led group that does like skill camps. So similar to like Genesis interests in like data analytics, they offer things like that, marketing. We have a strong partnership with Ratify Labs. They do similar types of workshops to help you build skills. And I think people really underestimate like just joining a club and just trying to see what you can do within that, because a lot of what employers look for is your ability to work with, different groups of people and also like, have some sense of like leadership qualities. So I think getting involved with those types of experiences can help you develop those skills.
All right, we still have a bunch more questions, but I want to give our 4 students just one more chance. Is there anything that you wanted to add about the Career Center or just advice you might have for these guys thinking about coming to UVA? Any of you or all of you? Kaylee first, then Genesis first, then Kaylee. Okay.
I'll start by saying that that UVA is a really amazing school, and my hometown is Jacksonville, Florida. So for me, it was a really big move to come here and try a new place and meet a bunch of new people. But I can attest to the fact that this office and this job as a CPE has really changed my life and how I look at my career and my life, plus my career in the future. And it's taught me a lot about having peace with myself and my interests and having peace when things change. And all that said, my biggest piece of advice is because my architecture major is so intense in terms of coursework, and I have my CPE job, which is part-time. It's like 8 to 10 hours a week. I don't do anything else on grounds. I'm not involved in clubs or Greek life or anything else, but these 2 things have infused so much like meaning into what I'm doing. And as much as I don't know, I'm certain of the things I don't know or the things I do know. So don't feel like pressured to sign up for 20 clubs and then show up and show out for all of them and be involved in 20 things, because there's a culture of performing and always being productive and always, and you can step back and say, no, my first year, I didn't have a job or do anything. It was just my classes, and I was just going to things and trying new things. So my advice to prospective students is you don't have to dive in completely to everything. Just take your time to feel things out and then decide what you really want to show up for. And good luck. You made it into a great school.
Awesome. Thank you. Kaylee, did you want to add?
Of course. So, I have been working at the Career Center for over 3 years now. And, just like Genesis was saying, this community and the support system that we get from fellow CPEs, but especially the counselors, is unlike anything that I've seen, frankly, at the school even. And I am just so fortunate that we have a great team who's positive and really champions students and supports you no matter what. Even, if it's career advice, if it's major advice, or if it's just, you're having a rough day and you want to talk something out, we are here for you. And I think that's something that is hard to find. And so, I'm really grateful to be a part of that. And piece of advice for incoming students, I suggest just walking into the Career Center as early as possible. It becomes less intimidating when you do that. I think a lot of students, as they move on throughout the years, they'll be in their 4th year and they walk into the Career Center for the first time, and they're just really stressed out because they haven't come in before. And so I think the sooner you acclimate yourself to getting familiar with resources, getting familiar with the counselors, and just coming in and helping yourself, it'll be a lot easier. And you'll find people who really can support you a lot quicker too. So that's my piece of advice, and congratulations again. And no matter where you go, you're going to do great. So good luck.
Sam or Brittany, 30 seconds, or is it all good?
I agree. I was just going to say, if I could tell my first year me self something, it's okay to seek help when you need it. Every semester, you're going to have different courses, different people you're going to meet. There's a lot of change happening, and you might have some self-doubts or, be afraid of all these changes, as Genesis said, but, there are so many resources available, and you'll start to feel that UVA starts to feel smaller as you expand your resources and your networks and meeting new people. You'll build relationships that you'll find are very beneficial. So definitely use as much out of those resources and relationships you build over time. And yeah, you don't have to do it alone, and you should be excited. It's going to be a fun journey for you.
Sam, last word from you.
Yeah, well, just congratulations for all the hard work that you put in to put yourself to be a Who. And yeah, we're all here for you. It can be kind of overwhelming when you first step on grounds, but everything will work itself out. You have a ton of people that really care that you're here, and just use us as much as you need to, and welcome to our community.
Awesome. You guys were fantastic. For the 29 questions that did not get answered, we will get those answered and send you an email with the answers. So thanks for such great engagement, over 50 questions and so many students here. Reach out to us if we can help you and help you make a decision. You'll find the right fit for you. You'll know if this place is right for you. We want it to be, but you make a good decision, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.